All right, we're live, everyone. Welcome to Decode the Left. I'm Karlyn Borysenko. I'm doing this live stream over on my main Substack, which is Karlyn, Karlyn.substack.com. If you are new to this, please make sure you download the Substack app on your phone, get notifications when I go live. I don't have a set schedule, but I do go live very regularly on my Substack. Usually in the afternoon. I've been doing it around 2 or 3 o'clock, and that seems to be a good time to do it, but I don't want to promise a set schedule because you never know what's going to happen. Literally, I've been on Twitter all morning or afternoon, I guess, watching the unfolding war between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Are you guys following this? See, it's funny because there is an audience on Substack that never goes over to the cursed platform of Twitter. And in my heart of hearts, I actually wish I could spend all my time on Substack. Substack is so much nicer than Twitter. Unfortunately, Twitter is just where the action is. I get more breaking news on Twitter than I do on Substack. I get nicer interactions on Substack than I do on Twitter. And of course, I love you guys on Substack. It is my main content platform. But if you want to see fights unfolding between Donald Trump and Elon Musk live, you go to Twitter. I'm just sorry. It's just the way it goes. But I will say this, it's so obvious to me. I have other things I want to talk about. I want to do a follow-up from the new College of Florida stream I did yesterday. But I want to say this about the Trump Elon Musk thing. It's that it was so obvious this was going to happen. I have said this from the beginning of Elon Musk's red pill journey, which is like, listen, I have been on the same journey Elon Musk has been on, okay? I was a Democrat for 20 years. I left the left in late 2019. I went over to the conservatives because I thought like, oh, this is the antidote to the left. And the conservatives love bombed me and they made me their the knitting Democrat who left the left or whatever, and I got all this attention, all this love, and oh my God, you're so wonderful, you're so amazing, oh my God, all this stuff for, a year, and then I started to figure out that it was all fake. And you know what? It feels really good when you're in it. Elon Musk, throughout the entire year of 2024, was in the love bombing stage with the right. It feels great when you're in it, man. And you actually feel the right is actually very good at love bombing because you feel like they actually do like you and they actually value you and they actually listen to you. And then you start to have ideas that are off the narrative. And then you start to question some of the bullshit things that the right does. And this is actually a perfect transition to the new college stuff I want to talk about later. You go through this process of seeing the right say one thing and then do another. For me, I talked about this yesterday on the stream I did last night. For me, that was the so-called anti-critical race theory bills in 2021 when they were claiming that they banned critical race theory. But I actually study what critical race theory is like in schools, how they actually teach it. And I was looking at all these anti-CRT bills saying, this isn't going to ban critical race theory at all. You guys are not banning the ways that they teach it. And it's so obvious once you actually know it. But of course, Republicans didn't want to listen. And all they wanted was their win to get their bill passed. The bill didn't do anything. The bill didn't stop anything. The bill didn't ban anything. But they went around going, we're winning. We're winning. And that was all they wanted. That was the goal. That was when it started for me. For Elon Musk, this budget bill, the big, beautiful bill, whatever, that's his moment where he's looking at the Republicans and he's going, you guys kissed my ass all last year. You took hundreds of millions of dollars of my money. You used me to prop you up. And you're not even doing the things you claimed you wanted to do. And Elon Musk is now seeing that. And I promise you, Elon Musk is going to continue to go through this red pill process. He's very smart. But the red pill process is a process. It is a process of waking up to the fact that you have been lied to by every single person that you ever trusted to tell you the truth. And it sucks to go through it. It is a massive amount of cognitive dissonance. And just because Elon Musk is very smart doesn't mean working through cognitive dissonance is necessarily easier. In fact, he's very autistic. So in some ways, it might be harder for him because he's looking at this purely from like a logical sense. And the logic for him is like, does not compute, does not compute, does not compute, because he doesn't understand that this is not a logical argument. This is the right does not care about the things they claim to care about. So Elon Musk is going, you said you cared about X, you're acting like Y. what is going on? And you can tell, like, he's trying to be, like, in good faith to a certain extent. I mean, I'm sure there's always politics at that level of play, but I do actually perceive what he's doing to be like, this bill is crazy for reasons X, Y, B, and Z. And now what's happening is the conservatives are coming out and lying about him. And Trump is going, well, you just wanted your tax breaks and me, me, me. And then Elon Musk said, I don't even give a fuck about the tax breaks, Trump. You can take them out of the bill for all I care. And so it's like the conservatives are lying about him. The conservatives are throwing him under the bus. He's getting a massive amount of backlash. And he's going to wake up very, very quickly to the fact that all that love bombing that he got in 2024 wasn't real. It sucks to wake up to that. It does. But the reason that he's waking up to it is that they can't control him in any way. And what I think is going to happen is he's going to continue to see these hypocrisies. Now, once he's identified it, once he's seen it happen once, he's going to be able to see it over and over and over again because conservatives do this shit like all the time. Once you start looking for a pattern, the pattern starts showing up. Nothing changed. Like, the same stuff was happening. It's just that you were more tuned in to what the pattern is, and so you know it. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this fight between Trump and Elon Musk is shaping up. But I did just want to do a quick follow-up stream from last night. So last night I did a stream. Yeah, Mary says it's 90 degrees here. Mary's in New Hampshire with me. It is so effing hot. I went out to Whole Foods earlier to get some lunch, and it is so hot out. I was dying. I'm not used to this. I live in New Hampshire, y'all. I am white. Like, I'm not used to this type of heat, but such as it is, I suppose. So I wanted to do a follow-up stream just talking about something I found out last night about the new College of Florida after I did my stream. So to bring you guys all up to speed, I'm in a little bit of a tiff because a couple months ago, I discovered that the new College of Florida bought 250 copies of Judith Butler's Gender Studies Queer Theory book to give it out to students for free. The new College of Florida is supposed to be the anti-woke college in Florida, and yet they're bringing onto campus someone who is a pioneer of queer theory. There is no one more woke on the planet than Judith Butler, and they're not only paying to bring her to campus, which she has a speaking fee of $5,000 to $10,000. I don't know what new College of Florida paid, but we're going to find out. She has a speaking fee of $5,000 to $10,000, and then on top of whatever fee they paid her, they also bought 250 copies of her gender studies book to give out to campus for free. I found out about this a couple months ago. I've been kind of posting about it here and there, but it's actually reached a boiling point now where I want effing answers because Christopher Rufo, who is on the board of trustees at the new college in Florida, who can make a phone call and find out what the fuck is going on in a second, he refuses to acknowledge this. He's taking a victory lap about how he's interfering in the business of some other college in Florida. And I don't mind that he got the incoming president of the University of Florida fired. I don't really care about that at all that much. But like, he's meddling in the business of another university in the state of Florida when the university he's on the board of trustees of is literally inviting one of the most preeminent queer theorists in the country to campus to lecture students at the anti-woke school and putting thousands of dollars in her pocket. So this is not sitting well with me anymore. Yesterday, I emailed the new College of Florida to ask for a statement. I haven't checked my email yet, so maybe they answer me back. I just haven't had a chance to check it yet. And I will update you guys if they do. If the new College of Florida responds to me, I will be posting every single thing publicly in full. Okay? And Carrie said, that's what they did. Why did they do that? Well, that's a good question, Carrie. I don't know why they did that, but we're going to find out because the other thing I talked about on the stream last night is I filed a public records request to get the documents relating to any discussion around Judith Butler on campus at all. So at minimum, we're going to find out how much money they want to charge me for this public records request. And the more that the new College of Florida wants to charge me, the more files they have to deliver, which is really going to make me start asking some questions. We're going to crowdfund that fee to get that paid to the new college so we can get those records because I want to know what happened and I think other people want to know what happened too. And the thing of it is, Chris Rufo, because I was tweeting about this yesterday and he's getting tired of it, he unfollowed me on Twitter yesterday. It's very sad. It's always very sad when the conservative narrative shills show you emphatically they don't actually care about what the real left is doing, show you emphatically that they're willing to forego resources that show you explicitly what the left is doing. Because They don't want to be bothered with it, or because they want to promote queer ideology. Does Chris Rufo want to promote queer ideology on the New College of Florida I mean, it makes no sense to me, but maybe he does, because a funny thing happened. And actually, I'll show this to you guys. Hang on. This is my computer screen. A funny thing happened yesterday where I was posting about this on Twitter. You can see this is me posting about Chris Rufo unfollowing me on Twitter, and it was very, very sad. And then I got a response. I got an an interesting response from FireSign58. I emailed and spoke with New College's president, and he said he knew who Judith Butler was and actually wrote a book about her years ago. The only problem he said he had with her talk is that the moderator didn't challenge her opinions. That's very true. The moderator did not challenge her opinions, and we watched the whole talk on my YouTube channel. You can also find it on New College of Florida's YouTube channel if you're looking for it there. He said that he believed that students should hear a wide range of views in their speakers. He also said Tom Homan was going to come speak next week. Oh, so you're bringing in the what is Tom Homan, the immigration guy, the immigration czar that has given up on mass deportations? Yeah, that's real great. That's real great. Okay, fine. I also emailed Governor DeSantis' office about the Judith Butler talk. He had his general counsel get back to me. I think I got his attention. Well. Oh, also, by the way, as an aside, you guys think that Florida is the anti-woke state? Let me show you this. This was from Corey DeAngelis today in the Daily Wire. This is a headline from the Daily Wire 2 days ago. Yesterday, I don't even know what date it is. Yesterday. Have you considered changing Florida teens asked to consider becoming gay in class assignment? Is it possible that being straight is just a phase you might grow out of? So this is the state of affairs in the anti-woke College of Florida, is that teachers are still teaching all the gay shit because it was never banned in the first place. And we have the president of the supposed anti-woke college in Florida saying, I think Judith Butler is just great, and I think students at the anti-woke college should hear from her. Now, I am not opposed to students being given a wide variety of ideas and speakers. However, this is supposed to be the anti-woke college in Florida. Are you telling me Judith Butler right now is on a massive speaking tour all over the country? We've been watching Judith Butler's talks on my channel. She is speaking on all these podcasts. She's on a PR tour because of Trump's executive orders. She's doing the gender idea. Here's what Judith Butler is doing. She's going around on this speaking tour going, gender ideology isn't dangerous. I promise. In fact, gender ideology isn't even real. It's the people who oppose gender ideology that are the anti-gender people. They're just making it up. I've never even taught gender ideology. I don't even know what you're talking about. You should absolutely reinstate your gender studies programs because we're safe. We're not teaching you to abolish gender. By the way, Judith Butler in her talk at the New College of Florida openly lied. Judith Butler, and again, you can find the video on the New College of Florida's YouTube channel. Don't take my word for anything. Go listen for yourself. Judith Butler lied in her talk at the New College of Florida because she said, I don't know anyone that's ever taken my work in order to argue that we should abolish gender. That would never happen. I've never seen such a thing. Anyone who follows my content knows the goal of queer Marxists is to abolish capitalism by abolishing the gender binary. The gender binary means men and women. They also want to abolish the nuclear family because they believe the nuclear family reproduces capitalism. And that is the goal of queer Marxism. The left openly states they want to abolish gender all the time. I have a library full of queer Marxist research and literature that you guys can read and that we work on in the Counter-Revolutionary Book Club, which you can find on the Substack, in which they are citing Judith Butler in their arguments to abolish gender, because Judith Butler's whole thing is gender isn't real, it's a performance. We're performing our gender. Judith Butler has inspired an entire generation of militant queer Marxists who cite her by name. I have on video a taxpayer funded training from Washington, D.C., in which they openly taught to eliminate gendered language. Judith Butler claimed in her talk at the New College of Florida that never happened. She said, I don't know of anyone that's ever argued to abolish gendered language before based on my work. I have it on video, bitch. I also have on tape a taxpayer-funded training, a federally funded taxpayer training from, it was from an organization in California, but it was funded by the United States Department of Health and Human Services, in which they openly taught to abolish gendered language, and they openly taught a room full of teachers in the state of California, federally funded, that if a student writes there are only two genders on the board, that is considered harassment and the teacher needs to reprimand the student. I have this on video. It's on my Substack. You can find it in the archives. That's just two examples off the top of my head, in addition to a litany of militant queer Marxist activist manifestos, communiques on the anarchist website, on the anarchist library. Go to the anarchist library and look at this stuff. Go to the anarchist library and look up Judith Butler's name and see how not influential Judith Butler is in militant queer activism, because you're going to get hundreds of things that come up citing Judith Butler's work. And Judith Butler is going around to the New College of Florida going, I don't know of anyone who's doing this. Bullshit. Bullshit. And the New College of Florida couldn't find anyone else. There are a lot of leftist speakers out there that you can bring onto campus that have not inspired an entire generation of queer Marxist activists. There are a lot of leftist speakers that you can bring onto campus that can articulate a vision and can have a free discussion of ideas. Hell, bring Sophie Lewis onto campus, New College of Florida. You want diverse views on your campus? Why don't you bring Sophie Lewis onto campus? Why don't you let the students consider that idea? That would be funny if they ever did that, huh? Why don't you bring Emmy O'Brien onto campus? Why don't you do that? Why don't you just bring Claudia de la Cruz onto campus? Claudia de la Cruz just ran for president for the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Why don't you let her come and spread her ideas? She got a ton of votes in Florida. Like, where is the line? Where is the line? The president of the anti-woke college, the New College of Florida, believes that Judith Butler is just great. Here's the biggest problem. These people don't even know what woke means. Do you know why the president of the supposed anti-woke New College of Florida is saying that Judith Butler is just great? Because he doesn't know what woke means. I promise you, he has no idea. He has no idea. I worked in higher education for 10 years. I talked about this on the stream yesterday. I have advised countless college presidents, people in presidents' cabinets, people on board of trustees. I was in that whole crazy environment for a long, long time. I worked at a lot of different colleges. I worked for consultancies. I did consulting on my own through my own. I had this stuff locked down for a long time. I don't do it anymore because I don't do that stuff anymore. But that was one of my major client bases for a long time. I know these people. I know how these environments function. And because I don't work in that industry anymore and I don't need to attract clients, I can say to you guys flat out, presidents at universities don't know what the fuck is going on. There is no universe in which the president at the New College of Florida can say, I think Judith Butler is just great and totally appropriate for an anti-woke college, if he knows what woke means. And the reason I keep harping on this is not just one Judith Butler talk. You can forgive a mistake. You can say, okay, maybe it was an oversight. Someone signed a contract they shouldn't have signed. I think I'm a pretty reasonable person and I know how this stuff works. And so if someone said, yeah, our bad, legitimate complaint. you know, grievance noted and filed, and we will make improvements in the future. We're not being unreasonable here. We're not expecting perfection. However, the reason you harp on this is I am now absolutely convinced that the leadership at the New College of Florida does not even know what woke means, and they're supposed to be the anti-woke college. How the ever-loving F can you be the anti-woke college if you think the woman that inspired an entire generation of queer Marxist activists isn't fucking woke? How can you think that's acceptable? There are millions of speakers in this country that are not the godmother of queer theory. So if they're going to make this mistake once and they're not going to acknowledge it and they don't know what woke means, that means they're going to make mistake after mistake after mistake and they're going to deflect it and they're going to sweep it under the rug. And oh, lo and behold, the publicity stunt that was the anti-woke college in Florida is nothing more than a farce. And Christopher Rufo wants to sweep it under the rug and pretend it's not happening. You want to know why Elon is going to keep taking red pills now and he's going to realize that all these conservative grifters were lying to him all along? It's the same reason why the New College of Florida is bringing on an infamous gender ideologist to their campus and buying 250 copies of her book and giving them away to students for free and not wanting to admit that they made a mistake. It's the same attitude. It's the same hubris. So the moral of this story, guys, and we got to wrap this up because there is a spy stream starting. There is a spy stream starting at 3:30, and it is 3:13 now. So if you're watching now, come join me for the spy stream. It's going to be a good one. We're watching a presentation from a bunch of librarians talking about queering literacy. So that's going to be great. That is starting in about 15 minutes. And so we got to wrap up, but here's the last thing I'm going to say about this. And if you're watching this later or listening to this later, you can catch the replay. You can always catch the replay. This is for supporters on my Substack, karlyn.substack.com. $8 a month, $80 a year. You support the work I'm doing, so I never have to show you a political narrative because I don't do that shit. I just show you what's going on and you decide what you think. But here's the last thing I'm going to say. If there is anything if there's any key takeaway from today, whether it be Elon Musk versus Donald Trump or whether it be the New College of Florida obviously not being the anti-woke College of Florida, people need to really start to understand that none of these political actors are going to come and save you. The Republicans are not going to save you. Donald Trump is not going to save you. Christopher Rufo is not leading an anti-woke revolution. He is shilling a narrative that enriches himself. Donald Trump is shilling a narrative to attack Elon Musk after Elon Musk gave him $250 million. And all Elon Musk wanted was to have people listen to him. And now we're in a battle of egos because Trump doesn't want to admit that he's wrong. Christopher Rufo doesn't want to admit that he's wrong. The president of the New College of Florida doesn't want to admit that he's wrong. So you have people on one side that actually care about solving the problem, and they come up against a wall of conservative bullshit. No one is coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. My resources are nonpartisan for a reason. I don't care what your politics are. I really, really don't. If you want to learn about the left, I will teach you. I will show you what's going on, unbiased, completely in context, so that you never have to question anything I say. You can see it for yourself in plain English. That's what I do, and that's why I do it, because all of this political bullshit, it obfuscates everything. People who are shilling a political narrative are never going to tell you the truth. They're only going to tell you things they want you to hear. They're going to hide everything else. They're going to clip things out of context and then ignore the things that contradict the point they want to make. I don't do any of that. I show you the full context all the time for a reason. And then you get to decide for yourself what you think, and we don't bicker about petty political bullshit. We don't show political narratives. Our focus is entirely on learning about and studying the left so that we can educate ourselves and we can go out into our communities and educate other people about what is going on. That is the only way that we win. That's it. That's the ball game, folks. So if you appreciate what I do, please head over to the Substack. Make sure you're subscribed. Support my work if you can. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to go get ready for Spy Stream. The information is right on the front of the Substack. It's for paying supporters on Substack, Patreon. Twitter subscribers, YouTube channel members, you can all join me for a spy stream, and then we have our live stream later today, which is going to be after the spy stream. It might be 5:30 because I don't know how long this spy stream is going to last. It might be 90 minutes, but we will be going live on the YouTube channel after the spy stream, and we're going to talk about psychoanalytics and queer theory. Fun times. Fun times, guys. All right, I've got to go set up. I will see you guys later. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.